Welcome to the Cognitive Psychology, Learning and Memory lesson on neuropsychological basis of learning and memory. By the end of the video, you will learn about memory and brain, memory consolidation and hippocampus, anterior and lateral temporal lobes and memory and animal models of memory. You will also learn about imaging the human brain and memory and cellular basis of learning and memory. Learning is how we get new knowledge or skills, and memory is how we keep this information and use it later. These processes are linked. We need memory to use what we've learned. For example, if you see someone's face often, it's easier to remember it later. Memory and learning work in 3 steps: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is taking in information through our senses, storage is keeping this information, and retrieval is getting it back when needed. Scientists study how the brain helps us learn and remember. They look at how different brain areas work together. This helps us understand more about memory. Amnesia is when someone can't remember things because of brain damage, disease, or trauma. There are 2 types: anterograde, can't form new memories, and retrograde, can't remember old memories. Studying amnesia helps us understand memory better. In the 1950s, surgeries like lobotomies and temporal lobe removals helped doctors learn about the brain. These surgeries showed how important certain brain areas are for memory. The story of patient HM is important in neuropsychology. After surgery to stop his seizures, HM couldn't form new memories, showing the hippocampus is key for memory. Memory consolidation is the process of making short-term memories into long-term ones, which the hippocampus helps with. The hippocampus doesn't store memories permanently but helps move them to the neocortex. The medial temporal lobe is important for forming new memories. Diseases like Alzheimer's, strokes, or injuries can damage this area, making it hard to form or recall memories. The amygdala and diencephalon also help with memory. Problems like Korsakoff's syndrome from alcohol abuse can damage these areas, causing memory issues. Animal studies, especially with primates, help us understand human memory. These studies show how similar brain parts in animals work in memory, which helps us learn more about human memory. New brain imaging techniques like PET and fMRI scans show us how memories form, store, and retrieve in real time. These scans help confirm theories about how memory works. Memory at the cellular level involves changes at synapses that make transmission more efficient. NMDA receptors are key for this process and help with memory formation. That's it for now. For additional information on this lesson, please look at the content below the video in the online course. To get a list of the important questions and their answers for this lesson, please refer to the guidebook by our publications provided to you with this course for free. It shows you a list of all the questions that have the highest chance of coming in your next exams based on research carried out on previous year question papers. All the best, and I'll see you in the next lesson.